So welcome back, guys. It is the 21st of March and it's 15:47 p.m. and I'm stuck in traffic on my way home. Left a bit late today, but it's been a lovely day. It's been getting cooler in the mornings. Autumn's on its way, winter's on its way. It was 9 degrees this morning. Yeah, but 10 things to know when moving from South Africa to New Zealand. The slang or the acronyms. New Zealanders use a lot of acronyms. Using acronyms just to cut down on words, I suppose. But in my workplace, we use a lot of acronyms. For new people coming over, it sounds like a complete different language. I could just rattle a couple off. FP, footpath; RCA, road corridor authority. You've got ATOC, you've got ASM, you've got so many that we use on a daily basis, and it is quite confusing when you get here, but you get the hang of it. McDonald's, for example, is just Macca's. And then another bit of other slang New Zealanders like to use, where we say when something's cool or kif, here they say it's sweet as, or good as, or fast as, or hot as. So yeah, it's always that as, sweet as, if everything is good. A couple of other things like a bucky is not a bucky or pickup, it's a ute here. The crushed aggregate they put under a road, which we call crusher run, they actually call metal, believe it or not, metal. So I really don't understand the background to that, but it's called metal here in New Zealand, which doesn't make sense for a road builder like me. Everything is self-service here in New Zealand, is to cut down on labor costs. Labor costs are extremely expensive. So you go fill up at the fuel station, you fill up yourself, you go and pay yourself. So you can either pay at the pump, some fuel stations, or you go in and pay yourself inside the shop. Restaurants, you'll go up to the counter and order your food, and likewise when you pay, you'll walk up to the checkout and actually pay at the counter when you leave. So it's, yeah, they avoid all these extra labor. In the supermarkets as well, they've got self-checkouts. Believe it or not, you scan your own goods, and it's all works with cards, contactless cards, tap and go, you pay. And yep, it's all about trust in New Zealand. People trust one another, to be honest, and hence it all works. I've, in the couple of years been here, on numerous occasions have left cards or a wallet even behind at a supermarket. You go back there and it's there. They keep it for you. People hand in missing items, so which is great in New Zealand. Learn and respect the Maori culture. It's a beautiful culture, interesting culture, and make an effort to learn a couple of Maori words and basic language, like kia ora, which means good day in Maori. Learn and respect how Maori traditionally greet one another, and it's important if you're going to come and live in New Zealand. Right, the next item you need to know is the demographics of New Zealand. So New Zealand's made up of two main islands, the North Island and the South Island. And most people end up working in Auckland, which has about 1.6 million people. Most of the jobs are here. It's mostly people from across the world come and live and work here. Very expensive, but that's not the real New Zealand. You need to travel out of Auckland down to the South Island. That is the real beautiful parts of New Zealand, which you need to explore. If you're lucky enough to get a job on the South Island, like Christchurch, or Dunedin even, or Queenstown, that is the tourist mecca of ski slopes, fjorden lakes, beautiful pristine nature and outdoor activities. Public transport. I'm speaking now for Auckland because I live in Auckland, but most big city centres have good public transport. In Auckland itself, they've got ferries, trains and buses, and you just buy a hop card and you top it up with money, and you can use this card on all the bus networks, the trains and the ferries. Airports, we've got airports at all major centres, Wellington, Christchurch, Dunedin, Queenstown, Auckland, Whangarei, Gisborne, all the smaller towns as well. They've all got domestic airports. One thing you need to know is the roads are windy and the speed limits are lower, hence it takes longer to get from A to B when driving. It's in South Africa, you generally, if it's 100 kilometers, you can do it in an hour. In New Zealand, it's going to take you maybe 1.5 hours to do that distance, or even more, or even longer to get to do that 100 kilometers due to the road conditions. Another surprising thing you need to know, in New Zealand, people stop at pedestrian crossings for pedestrians to give them the right of way. When you approach a pedestrian crossing, you'll see people slow down and stop and let you cross the road. You obviously always need to double check to make sure the cars have stopped before you do cross, but amazingly people respect pedestrians, stop for you to cross the road. Cost of living in New Zealand. They say you shouldn't compare what things cost to rands in South Africa, because once you earn New Zealand dollars, you just need to look at generally what is expensive. So I'll go on a high level. It is very expensive to eat out or drink in a pub or in a restaurant, so that is a luxury. Cigarettes are highly taxed, is extremely expensive as well. An average house in Auckland costs 1.2 million New Zealand dollars. So at the time of this video, the exchange rate was 12 South African rand to 1 New Zealand dollar. So you can do the maths, times 1.2 million dollars, an average house in Auckland, times 12 rand, to give you an idea. On the South Island and the smaller places away from Auckland, you could pay much less. You could get a house from, say, 500, 600,000 upwards, depending on the size and the location. But average house is 1.2 million New Zealand dollars in Auckland. There's a lot of free things in New Zealand, which is really great. Beautiful, pristine parks, picnic areas, playgrounds for kids, safe playgrounds for kids, cycleways, walkways. It's absolutely, the outdoor life is absolutely stunning when we have good weather. Beautiful here on the North Island, lovely mild, not too hot summers. It gets a bit hot in January and February. Otherwise it's really lovely, and the winters are mild as well. We do get some rainy cold fronts that come through, can sort of rain 1 or 2 days and windy, but then it clears, crystal blue skies. And because it's an island, the weather systems move quite rapidly across the island. What is it like to work in New Zealand? It all depends on your employer and what type of work you do, but generally you're not allowed to work more than 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, which is 40 hours. As I say, there are some variations. Personal well-being is highly valued in New Zealand, and it works well. You obviously need to put in your extra time and to make sure all your deadlines are met, but that's all about your personal management of your time. What is the food like in New Zealand? Well, it's got everything. You got your typical European, American foods, all your fast food chains, from your McDonald's, Burger Kings, your Pizza Huts, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, so you got all those, but then there is a strong Asian influence in a lot of the restaurants due to us being close to Asia, to the Pacific Islands in Asia, so there's a lot of influence in that. The food is great, it's really enjoyable. What is the dairy like in New Zealand? Well, that is something to really rave about. The milk, the dairy, the cheese, the ice cream is so much richer and tastier than South Africa. That I have to admit. I love cheese, I love ice cream. And here they have also real fruit ice cream, where they pulverize frozen berries and fruit into the New Zealand creamy ice cream. It is absolutely delicious. The cheese is out of this world. Really, really, really stunning. I mean, if you look at the farmlands where the Jersey cows feed, or the grass, the green grass, and the pure crystal waters on where they farm, you can only imagine what quality dairy products we get in New Zealand. Is New Zealand safe? What is the crime like in New Zealand? Well, obviously with any large cities you do get crime, but it's nothing compared to South Africa. So it also depends which areas you live, work, but there again, you don't get anything close to what occurs in South Africa. Smaller towns, South Island, even less. We've been away for the day and forgot to lock our house, and you'll get back there and everything's there. You'll lose something, you'll lose or leave a wallet behind while shopping. You'll go back, it's been handed in. People are very trustworthy, and it's lovely to live in a country where you don't have to constantly fear of being in danger, even while traveling or going for a walk on the beach at night, or going for a walk at night even, just to get some exercise after work. You never ever feel threatened, which is a lovely feeling in New Zealand. Before I wrap up, I'd like to share you some lovely photography and drone footage in 4K of New Zealand, the beauty of New Zealand. So take it away and enjoy it, and come visit. Cheers guys.